Well, as we wrapped up episode 1 of this conversation, just too much to keep in one episode. So we're going to pick up with the second part of our conversation with Shannon, talking about stretching us a little bit. I know it stretched me, just some ways that we can get the word out. And specifically in this episode, want to get more into the tools, some practical tools that we can consider. And what does it look like to level up our ministry to make our lives easier as we use some tools like AI and ChatGPT and all those tools that are out there that can be used for evil, but incredible ways to be used for God's glory as we point people to Jesus in this incredible ministry that is Celebrate Recovery. Today, we're going to continue the conversation. Welcome to Celebrate Recovery Official, a podcast that shares life-change stories, courage and hope, and leadership wisdom, all centered around the Celebrate Recovery principles based on the Beatitudes of Matthew chapter 5, where we learn that the events of our life bring pain. As we face our hurts, we can tackle those hang-ups and how we see ourselves, God, and others, and our circumstances, and really face and tackle those habits, those numbing agents or defenses or protections that we develop that can get us stuck, that ultimately create havoc on the others in our lives, starting with our relationship with Jesus Christ. I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ. I struggle with drugs and alcohol and perfectionism. My name is Rodney. I'm the Global Field Director of Celebrate Recovery, and it's so good to be back with you today. I hope you've been enjoying this series of podcasts, getting into some heart issues and some specific topics. But last episode, we started a conversation with Shannon from Victory Celebrate Recovery in Middlefield, Connecticut. They're 19 years old, Celebrate Recovery. And she's a communication director, meets there at their Celebrate Recovery every Wednesday night at 6:30. And we had just a great conversation. Want to continue that conversation. Too much to cram into one. Probably could have crammed a couple more episodes, but we narrowed it down to 2 episodes, and we'll probably bring back some other conversations around this, get deeper in the weeds on some of this. But want to pick up with our conversation with Shannon and really get into some more practical tools that we can use in this space, and how we can just reach more people. That's the goal. Evangelism, to reach more people to meet Jesus and to get in the space of Celebrate Recovery. So we'll pick up with our conversation with Shannon with part 2 of our episode.
We picked Spanish because that's the community that's local to us and in our body. But I feel like there was close to 50 different languages in there. So we've also used it. We have a global fellowship. And so there was Russian and French and all sorts of stuff in there as well. So we've been able to communicate. He's been able to communicate using those. So yeah, we can definitely expand our base of people who are going to be recovered and set free using that tool.
Wow. And this was just like a introduction video or something that he made, or what was the actual video that he did?
So it was his entire teaching. So we did a 4-week series. Each video was around a half hour. At that point, that's how long you could do to translate a video. So we really had to keep it to a tight 27 minutes, so it hit 30. And so it was the teaching. So they were watching the exact same video. We only shot the video once in English, but it processed it and it looked like he had done it in Spanish. So it was the entire church-wide.
That is incredible. That is amazing. And that there's a cost for that. And what does that look like?
There is. That was definitely a budgetary approval.
Yeah, for sure.
But they've come such a long way, even in the last 6 months. And this was, almost a year ago. So you can buy by credits, you can do by video, you can make avatars and other stuff in there. That would be great for a newcomer video. I know, we're kind of, again, shifting our focus to the newcomer and offering that newcomer 101 Anita video. So we will be utilizing that to help us make a video for our newcomers. And I think the cost is anywhere between $89 to $200 a month, depending upon how long you need it for, the project, and that type of thing. So
Awesome.
worth exploring. It's just GEN.com, I think.
That's really cool. Well, I'm definitely going to be talking to you offline about that some more, even thinking about our summit and, some of the teachings that we're doing on the stage and trying to reach different communities. So that's kind of a cool thing. So I will be talking to you about that. But you're talking about different tools in AI, kind of continuing that conversation. I took us on a couple offshoots here, but that the different tools, what's some other ways that you're using tools like AI in your local ministry? I know you've hit on some of those, but what's some of those other things that you've done and how you've used them?
Sure. So I'm going to speak to the smaller, even though there's no small CRs.
Yes.
The people who feel that they are smaller and don't have a team. I like to say I'm the team. I'm the A in team. I'm responsible for all of this. So we don't have, dozens of people on staff to do this. I am all about how can I get this done quickly and effectively. So for those people who are feeling like, man, I don't have a graphic designer or all of that, here are some tools that will definitely enhance your marketing efforts. The first one is Canva. They have so many templates. They have so many different shapes, sizes, YouTube covers, PowerPoint decks and presentations, ads, flyers, anything that you can dream up. Canva has a size or a template for. And the best part is they are free for nonprofits. So if you do have a nonprofit status, you submit that to them. It takes away, I think it's like a $50 a month or a year fee, and it gives you access to all of their elements. So I really use Canva a lot for our Instagram templates. I'll see something and I'm like, oh, okay, that says, have a great day. But I love the design of it. And I can just, type in the text box, this is what Principle 7 looks like, and make it CR specific, but I don't have to design it from the ground up. So Canva, awesome. The other great thing about Canva is they have just joined with my favorite AI tool, ChatGPT. And so now you can go into to ChatGPT and search for different, I think they call it different GPTs, and you can search Canva. And so without even having an account, you can, let's see, one of the prompts that I used was, I also run the women's ministry social media. So I was like, please write 5 different social media posts, all with inspirational quotes for a Christian woman. And in 30 something seconds, they were designed with the link. I could click on it and edit it. I was like, you know what? I don't really like the motivational quotes. Can we do scripture instead? So it regenerated, and I found a couple that I liked. And so instead of, an hour's worth of design, it was 2.5 minutes.
Wow.
So Canva is really, really great for that. And they have desktop and an app. So however you prefer to use that, you certainly can. Sunday
cool.
Social. Thank you. Sunday Social TV, I think, is the official name for it. They are phenomenal. We use them a lot. And honestly, I don't have to doctor that up too much. Feel like it's a $20, maybe $30 a month membership fee. And you have access to stock photography, to already made reels, which I use a lot of their reels. You have inspirational quotes, you have scripture, you have, every day seems to be a national holiday. It's like National Potato Day or
ice cream.
National I have eyelashes. Exactly. There's always something. So there's a built-in social media calendar in there. And so you can see, okay, what's coming up, and really just get creative. Think, okay, how can I leverage this for Celebrate Recovery? So if it's, National Happiness Day, cool, what Celebrate Recovery principle talks about finding happiness, or, what does that look like? How can I bring it back to Celebrate Recovery, and use their already pre-made templates that I just download and put in there? So they're a great resource if you really can't design anything and you don't want to design anything. They will pay for themselves in the first week.
Yeah, it sounds like it. That was called Sunday Social. What was it?
Yes.
Okay, Sunday Social. Wow. Wow, that's really cool. I can't. If you could see my face, my brain is literally just spinning right now. I'm thinking on a global level, but even local. Definitely going to have my team listen to this podcast.
Thank you, Rodney. You're doing my heart so well. Like I said, I could do a 6-month series on this. I have 2 more tools that we kind of use off and on. Again, because I have a communications budget, I'm able to use this for CR as well. So I recognize that you need to find the one that works for you. Outreach, they do signage and mailers and like church information, but they also have what's called digital outreach. And again, they have reels, they have pre-made social media posts. They can do all sorts of things. They can help you build ads. They're a great tool. Again, I think they're somewhere around $20 a month. And then one that we use at the church, which kind of supports our CR and maybe not on the social side of things, is something called Shift Worship. So Shift Worship powers our Pro Presenter. And for those who don't know, Pro Presenter basically runs a service. So your worship, to have the lyrics on the screen behind, or any type of videos, any scriptures that you show up on that screen, is usually run by a program called Pro Presenter. So Shift Worship works with Pro Presenter, but they have a bunch of different stuff. They have countdowns that you can use. So every month we update our theme. So it's continually stays fresh. Just a couple months. I can't wait. We're going to have a fall theme. It's going to be pumpkin spice lattes everywhere. Very excited. So it'll be, every month it gets a new theme. And so Shift Worship has the motions, it has countdowns, it has these great bumper videos that you can play beforehand. We actually took one of their opener bumper video, is the fancy term. And I was like, this would be so great for our 19th anniversary. And it had all the elements, it had the feel. And then we were like, well, we do kind of want it to be a little more CR. So instead of Welcome to Church, it was Welcome to Celebrate Recovery. We put some drone footage of our specific building on it, and then changed some of the lyrics to say, more, again, CR vernacular. That was a little more friendly, instead of like, instead of just welcome to church, anybody is welcome to church, anybody who has a hurt. If you're here and you have a habit, that type of a thing. So they're great for social media. They have social media posts as well. They have things that will support your visuals for Celebrate Recovery and anything else. So I highly recommend starting with Shift Worship, especially if you use Pro Presenter. There are other programs that support Pro Presenter as well. I think Church Motion Graphics might be another one. This is just one that we've used and has worked out well for us.
That's awesome. Never heard of that. That's really cool. So, man, lots of good tools there. Can't write down fast enough here, so I may have to get the notes from you. But
no problem.
So just as a whole, and you've thrown a lot at us, and it's just so good. So just in general, how has AI, and these are your words in our conversation, helped you to kind of level up, right? And maybe you can explain that to make your life easier, in the ministry as a whole. Anything around that you'd like to share? I'd love to hear your heart and wisdom.
Sure. So as I said, I'm a huge fan of AI. So again, we don't have a large team, right? And some people on our TEAM have double positions.
Yeah, I get
So
it.
yeah, there's no small CRs, but sometimes it can feel that way. It can
Yeah.
feel like you're in the middle of the desert by yourself. So, as somebody who has such a heart to see people set free, somebody who also doesn't want to spend every moment in front of a computer and really struggles with this wasn't in my opener, but perfectionism and workaholicness.
Yeah, I can relate.
Can get there very quickly. AI has really helped expand the heart of Celebrate Recovery and reach people again who may not understand what it looks like. So, with Celebrate Recovery and the vernacular that we talked about, their social media kind of reflected that, to be honest with you. I mean, we do share in one of the free resources, you should always share Celebrate Recovery official
Yes.
content on Facebook and Instagram. So that's also a free resource to avail yourself to.
That's right.
Um, but again, we kind of follow this 80-20 rule when doing our social strategy of it's 80% lifestyle and 20% kind of sales pitch, right?
Mm.
So the person who's in recovery is looking for support. They're looking for community. They're looking to be seen and heard, and not just seen and heard, but understood. So some of the things that I've done with Celebrate Recovery vernacular and AI is I'll craft up a social media post that I think is perfection. Everybody is going to understand it. I am the greatest copywriter in the entire planet. This is perfect. And then I'll put it into AI and I'll say, how can this be better? And I'll give it some parameters and I'll say, how can this be better? I want it to reach somebody who isn't familiar with Celebrate Recovery, but they should know its principles. How can I, because AI knows all about Celebrate Recovery. In fact, Rodney, if you want to ask AI about you, it knows all about you too, and will link to your YouTube testimony and give the transcript.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's scary.
your digital footprint is huge. So I'll say, based upon the principles of Celebrate Recovery, how could I infuse this into somebody who needs to be introduced to it? And it will take this magnificent post that was fine 12 and a half seconds ago, and it'll expand it to an even like larger heart and understanding that I even have. So it'll make it more conversational. So that has really been such a valuable tool.
Hey, friends, if you're looking for another online meeting option, we've got Celebrate Recovery Global Open Share Meeting. Meets every Wednesday at noon Pacific. We meet from just about a little over an hour. We have a mini-moni, a testimony, a devotional, and then we break up into gender-specific groups. If you'd like to be a part of that, you're looking for an additional meeting, go to celebraterecovery.com and join us this week. We'd love to have you. Celebraterecovery.com for more information.
And I've been working with it again for like a year and a half, so it understands me. I use the prompt a lot. Make this more conversational. And so it's really just taken me as a writer, using it as a copywriter to capture more of the heart of Celebrate Recovery, the passion of Celebrate Recovery, but makes it consumable to somebody who is not knowing what it is or scared to walk through the door.
Wow. That's a lot, girl. That's amazing. I love that. Make this more conversational. And it's just, we're just trying to find our words. And sometimes, the longer you've been doing this, or maybe you're brand new to it, we don't know what to say, and we can lose sight of that. And having an expert tool that can kind of be our companion to say, hey, let me help you. You don't have to think about this. Just tell me what you're wanting generally, and I'll help you with that. That's such a great thing to be reminded of.
It completely is. And, I heard a quote one time that you actually learn more about an author through their writing than they wanted you to know, right? Because we we teach through our lens and our trauma and our brokenness. We'll write through our lens and our trauma and our brokenness. Or sometimes we write out of our staleness or our passion. And all of those things are, good. They're a part of our story. He makes our mess his message. But sometimes we need help conveying his message because we're in our mess. So that really has helped me to say, okay, maybe right now I'm struggling with, unbelief. And so that's going to be kind of my post. And it might be a little too much for somebody, as somebody who is struggling with unbelief. They want to come to a page and not read like struggling with unbelief. Yeah, me too. You want to hear struggling with unbelief? God sees you. God knows you. He can handle that conversation. Here's how Celebrate Recovery can help you, talk to God about your disappointments and that type of thing. So it really can just kind of take away a filter that you didn't realize you had and make it, again, more accessible to somebody who is looking to be introduced to their first day in recovery.
Wow. Shannon, you're amazing. I want to just kind of put you in a suitcase and ship you to Arkansas so that I can just feed off of your wisdom and your creativity. I know.
I love food, Rodney. So you put the right restaurant in front of me.
Yeah.
I'll pack my own suitcase.
Yeah, we will have to figure out how to make that happen. No, you are amazing, and this is when I wish we had video, which we're moving toward video podcast for these, but I wish they could see the passion that I'm seeing as they hear the passion. You're just amazing, and I love that you're a part of this ministry, and you're helping us to reach that next generation, and we got to be creative with that. So thanks for the creativity. Thanks for the persistence and stretching us globally. We need that to be able to keep this around for another 33, 34 years. So,
thank you for that. I said you give me a platform about marketing, and I will happily bend your ear until your grandchildren have grandchildren. There's two things that I would be remiss not saying. When you had asked the question about how AI kind of infuses our Celebrate Recovery. So we have used it to, as I mentioned, I think earlier, creating a unique and engaging opener to really reflect newcomers. One thing that we haven't started using yet, and so hopefully my team isn't listening because we haven't told them about it just yet. But one of the things that we learned in the summit was the lesson format, and how the DNA of Celebrate Recovery maintains that you have to have the acrostic and you have to have the scripture in the lesson that you teach. Everything else is kind of up to the teacher. And so what we're going to be doing moving forward is kind of like what I'm doing with the social media posts, taking what our teachers are going to be creating, running it through AI and asking it, one, to cross-check with the actual lesson, making sure it adheres to the DNA, take out anything that is rabbit trail, confusing, doesn't make sense, and then ask it questions. So, for example, assume that you are a person new to recovery, or a secondary question would be, you aren't new to recovery. What are the key takeaways from this lesson? Because it's not coming directly from Celebrate Recovery. We want to make sure that the general understanding is all the same. So you can say, if you're new to recovery and if you know any type of demographics about your CR, let's say the average person only has their first year of college. So assume the person who's listening only has 1 year is 1 year college educated. Maybe it's all male, maybe it's all women, or maybe it's a combination of both. So put whatever parameter is for that. And then ask it what it took away and what the understanding was. Because we may not know. There might be trigger language in there. There might be something that we as Celebrate Recovery veterans understood, but was confusing to, or would be confusing to, the average person. So we are going to use AI to specifically the lessons that our team is writing that goes beyond just what is handed from Celebrate Recovery. And then secondary, using it to help as a copy editor for testimonies. So one of the stories that Pastor Johnny had said at the summit was, I think with his dad, Pastor Rick had asked somebody to speak for the first time, and she had this huge testimony, and then Pastor Rick like redlined 97% of it, and this poor woman is like, at Saddleback going to give her testimony for the first time. And he didn't say this, but I'm just going to assume for her, it was like, this is trash, rewrite it, right? And so Johnny and his dad went through and kind of made it make sense for her. And she said that was the best thing that ever happened, because what was condensed out of it was the only thing her testimony needed to be. So again, using AI, taking those testimonies in and saying, how could this be better? How could this be more conversational? It's missing scriptures. What scriptures would support this theme about maybe it's codependency or addiction or mental illness? You can ask it for that. You can tell it which version, translation you'd like. So if you're an NIV person, like we see in the Celebrate Recovery material, or if you're a Living Bible, New King James, whatever, it will pull the appropriate translation in there for you. And if you really wanted to be fancy, you could ask it for an acrostic. take my theme, make it an acrostic, and so it really is an opportunity to help testimonies become exactly what they're meant to be. It's hard as a leader to look at somebody and say, your testimony needs to be changed, or this isn't important, or that type of thing. Those are hard conversations to have. And, it's still going to be a hard conversation to have, but it's not so personal. I think in this regard, you can say, we're using this technology and really streamlining, making sure that it's exactly X amount of minutes and that type of a thing. So it opens it up and makes it a little bit different and more effective, I think.
Wow. That's crazy. I wish you could see inside my brain right now, Shannon. My brain is going a million different. I mean, I'm not lying. It's truth. My brain is going, okay, and I'm thinking about my local ministry, and I'm thinking global. My brain, it's hard for this brain to do that, by the way. It has a certain level of capacity, and you have taken it to way beyond its capacity. So good stuff. Anything else that's just on your heart around this topic that you want to share before we wrap up here?
Let's see. Some of the other, we've been down a few rabbit holes, but if I'm remembering, you asked, we leveled up our CR. So we did a couple of different things. We make sure that we are not afraid to ask for the connection. So we have pre-service slides that play. And then at the end, before we announce groups, we have upcoming events that kind of mirror it. So when people are coming in and they're fellowshipping and listening to, we have our own Spotify playlist. And in our pre-service slides, we have a cassette tape for anybody who remembers what those look like. If you don't, look it up. Cassette tape, and it says, Victory CR playlist, and there's a QR code to an open Spotify list. So people are hearing our 9-hour or something like that pre-service playlist that's all about recovery and that type of a thing. We have our social media links. We have our website link. We have a standalone website. So we're not afraid to ask for that connection. We tell them, hey, don't forget to follow us. So we have that. We don't offer merchandise at our Celebrate Recovery, but we love to support Celebrate Recovery at large. So we have a slide there that says, get your own CR merch with a QR code to the website. Why? We want you also advertising Celebrate Recovery. So if you are willing to, I'll say, forego your anonymity and you wear a shirt out in public that says Celebrate Recovery, you're saying, okay, ask me about this. I'm willing to give up a little bit of my anonymity and confidentiality. So yeah, we tell people, hey, buy some CR merch because it only helps support us. It helps support you. And then we, again, ask for the connection. We have information about our volunteer slides. we participate in community events. So at the end of this month, there's an overdose awareness fiesta
Yeah.
outreach that they're having a couple of towns over. And they have Narcan training, they have concerts, they have material about overdosing and how to support somebody who has addiction. So Celebrate Recovery has a table there. Why would we not? We are a Christ-centered recovery program for all types of hurts, habits, hangups, and addictions. So we have volunteer slides up for that, asking people to join us at the event. Obviously, there's an expectation of, again, giving up your anonymity and confidentiality. So if you have those opportunities available to you, take them. That's advertising, that's evangelism / marketing. It is leveling up your CR, and just making a soft and easy way to talk about recovery. Because, I mean, what are you going to walk up to somebody and be like, do you have trauma? Do you maybe not like people? I see you suffer from road rage. That's not really, that's equivalent to walking up to somebody and being like, if you don't have Jesus, you're going to hell. You know that, right? And so this is kind of a soft way to open up a conversation that's kind of uncomfortable, but that everybody needs. So, so do those things. Those small little changes will help you level up your team, level up your CR, and ultimately, it's a small ripple leading out to a bigger pond, leading out to the ocean. So, I would definitely suggest that.
That's amazing. Such good stuff. I mean, I've been taking it in, and I promise you I'm going to be replaying these multiple times just to and bring my A coaches, my E coaches, everyone in to listen to this. But Shannon, you are amazing, and I thank God. I mean, it truly is, and I'm not overstating this. I love these kind of divine appointments. I mean, for us to bump into each other and at the summit and just hear your heart. I had no idea that it would be this extensive. I thought we have some cool ideas and she'll bring some good stuff to the table. But you have, I mean, completely exceeded my expectations. So thank you for just your heart. Thank you that you're part of the ministry, and thanks for your wisdom. And I'm sure we'll do some offshoots of this and get in the weeds a little bit more on specific things that you've rattled off. That we've been drinking out of a fire hose. I know I have, but maybe we can
very quickly in Connecticut. Yes.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's just the information itself. It's just like, man, this is a lot to take in, but so encouraging. Even if you just grab onto one of these ideas and try it on, that's going to take you further down the road. So don't feel like you have to, for those listening, that you have to do all these things, and don't get overwhelmed by that. But put something on that seems to fit with where you are. And I love how you said that. How did you word that? You said that at the very beginning. Start where you are. And what a great reminder as we've taken in all this information. Start where you are, and what can you do? And what a cool thing to find the Shannon in your ministry that has a passion for this. It might be overwhelming for you, but there's someone in your church that if you equip them, they may be able to take this on, so you don't have to worry about that. But so grateful for you, and I'm looking forward to more conversations, Shannon.
Oh, thank you, Rodney. I'm getting very uncomfortable over here. As I mentioned earlier, I'm quite fangirling myself over sitting here with the Rodney at this point. So thank you for just allowing me to send you way too many pre-show notes. I think what was 12 pages of whatever, and just letting me geek out about marketing and what we're really now just rebranding as evangelism.
Yes.
And bring all of that to you. So thank you so much for everything that you do, and just being open to even asking the question of, hey, do you have ideas? Bring them to me.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a fun. I think this is going to be a long standing. I'm already going to start looking for houses in Arkansas. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think this is going to be a long standing relationship, and grateful. Just want to again plug your Celebrate Recovery there, Victory Celebrate Recovery there in Middlefield, Connecticut, and they meet on Wednesdays at 6:30. And if Shannon is a part of that ministry, I promise you're going to have a good experience. So go check them out there in Connecticut. And Shannon, if you're ever in Arkansas, come see us at Northwest Arkansas. We'd love to have you come visit us. Maybe you can share your testimony sometime.
Absolutely. I'm booking a ticket now.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Hey, we would make that happen. But well, sis, thanks so much for your time. I know you gave me well over an hour of your time, and that means a lot. And I know it means a lot to our listeners, and I just appreciate you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. You
bet. Well, wow. I hope you guys feel as blessed as I do, just to hear the heart and the passion. We talk a lot about we need knowledge, we need skill, we need character, but we need passion to be able to live out our leadership gifts. And if you're needs help in any of those, then just do something about it. And I just love the passion that came out, the wisdom, the skill, and the knowledge, and the character. Just grateful for our sister, and I hope that this has blessed you as much as it has me. Might be worth a replay on these past couple podcasts. Hey, thanks so much for being with me today. I pray that you'll join me next time. Until then, God bless you. Have a great week.